remind us why these documents are being released now and in batches?
So, Rosana, these names being released all is because of a lawsuit between Virginia Giuffre, one of the accusers who claims that she was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. And there was a lawsuit between her and Ghislaine Maxwell, a defamation lawsuit. That is where all these documents are coming from. And a federal judge in New York, just ruled last month in the middle of December that these names would be released. So 177 names will be released. There's 2 names that are still redacted right now. Different reasons. One of them claims that her safety could be in jeopardy if her name is released, and then the other one, the appeal is still being considered. But that's why these names are coming out right now, and certainly as the names continue trickling out, people have more and more questions.
And in the lead up to this, Nate, some people were saying, look, there isn't going to be that much new information, and certainly we knew already of Prince Andrew here in the UK and around the world. But in terms of the names that have been released, were there any details that stood out to you as particularly explosive?
Well, you mentioned, of course, Prince Andrew, and his history with Jeffrey Epstein has been well documented. But just when you go through the documents and you actually read out the accusations and the quotes from the accusers while they're being questioned by lawyers, it's really startling. You mentioned the underage orgy that Prince Andrew is accused of. I have the exact quote here. Jane Doe number 3, this is from the document, was forced to have sexual relations with this prince when she was a minor in London at Ghislaine Maxwell's apartment in New York and on Epstein's private island, again, in an orgy with numerous other underage girls. And then the other thing that you mentioned, the other example with Prince Andrew was just a really strange and disturbing picture that was described by one of the accusers where both Sjoberg and Giuffre were in this picture that involved a puppet, and the puppet was on one of their breasts, and Prince Andrew's hand, according to the claim, was on Sjoberg's breast. So when you see those accusations in clear terms, and it's very specific, it's obviously incredibly disturbing. And then here in America and around the entire world, obviously, everyone was really interested the connection with former presidents Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. Neither president is accused of any wrongdoing, but there's certainly questions about the nature of that relationship. A Clinton spokesperson says that they haven't spoken in almost 20 years, but Clinton's mentioned almost 50 times in the documents. And there's some disturbing accusations about him as well, where one of the accusers claims that Epstein told her that Clinton likes his girls young. So again, he's not accused of any wrongdoing. Sjoberg also mentions that she was flying with Epstein at one point. This is her claim. And they had to land because of bad weather in Atlantic City, and that he said he would call up former President Donald Trump, and that they went to one of his casinos in Atlantic City. But again, neither president accused of any wrongdoing, but this is not a document that anybody wants to be in, and certainly there are questions about the nature of the relationship.
Certainly, Nate. And like you said, there's some really just sordid reminders of what actually happened. Nate Foy, Fox News correspondent.